Welcome to Payne on Politics, a podcast where host Dr. Gregory Payne of Emerson College sits down with fellow experts to discuss the current state of politics, public opinion, and global affairs. In a world growing increasingly complex, communication and critical thinking is key. This only makes the Emerson motto, expression necessary to evolution, more true.
Hello, this is Gregory Payne, the Chair of Communication Studies at Emerson College, the first communication department in the United States. And I'm here in one of my favorite cities, Rosarito Beach, Mexico, and also with one of my favorite people in Rosarito and one of my very best friends, David Silvah. David is someone that I met many years ago with Zuling and Janice. So first of all, David, I would say welcome to Payne on Politics.
Thank you, Greg.
It's exciting when I think back of our friendship because it was one where Zuling used to always be so excited. She would see you painting across the street. And I know that Janice and Zuling were not bashful. They came over and suddenly they got to know you. Could you tell us a little bit about your early history? Because you are now a global artist, and we'll talk about that in terms of art diplomacy, or what I would call Silva diplomacy, building bridges across cultures.
I just paint all the time, trying to find different styles, learning more and more. And that's the thing that get me to different places, like Europe places.
When did you know, David, you were going to be a painter? When did you decide, or when did you say, I've got this talent?
It's something that happens, and I never think about it. You know, people add the title to me. Because I just do it as a present for girlfriends, as a present for day of something for the teachers on my school time, and little by little people add me the title. I don't even think about doing this for a life. When I was on my town, it was like a hobby, but when I came to Rosarito, I started looking people that buy art. They love art. They don't have empty walls of or just painting on the walls. They add art to the walls. It's a big community that collect art here.
Yes. Well, it's a very, very artistic area. We visited with one of your colleagues that's still at the hotel, and he was showing us some of his art. One thing that Emerson's background and motto is expression necessary to evolution. And I think your art is so expressive in terms of the culture. And when I look at your art, I want to thank you once again for that vital picture of Zuling that graces my place here. Every time I walk in, those eyes. But you are really someone who's captured so many people with various aspects, and you're so talented, whether it be your musicians now or to that iconic Quixote. How many Quixote pieces have you done?
I don't have an account, but just let you know that this morning I received a news from the gallery. They sold the last Quixote they have it, and they want 10 more.
They want 10 more.
Yeah,
now, which gallery was this? Because
you're the one in Coronado.
Coronado?
And yesterday, the gallery in Little Italy, they asked for another 2 pieces.
Yes.
And I don't do it because I sell it. People ask me for that piece.
I will say yesterday when we were here, we looked into your gallery, and the first thing that grabbed my mind was the eyes of Quixote. Whether it be in Pennsylvania, whether it be enthralling people in Boston, including past President Pelton, with your caballeros on the horses, what is it that makes your paintings so vivid and alive, and there's an instant process in communication? There's nothing static in your painting. I mean, how do you convey that?
Well, it used to be something really ugly. It's all about practice, and then you mix it with the feeling, because just a feeling, you don't get an attention. The feeling will be a feeling, but the tension is because with the practice, at the end, the work is better and better and better. And that's when I started learning how to mix nicer colors with the movement of the painting of the subjects. And that's when the people fall in love. They don't fall in love of something, thinking on what am I saying on the painting. It's just the attraction of something nice.
Well, you capture so many emotions. As I said, the eyes are something that just captivate me with every painting that you've done. Even though you've told me when Janice and I talked to you about Zulene, you said, I don't really do portraits, but you do portraits so well. So the one thing I would ask is, you used to just, paint in Rosarito. And then I kept saying to you as others, David, other people need to see your work. You talked about Coronado. You've got a beautiful display of your work, on a vineyard in Northern California. You have people can't wait for your work in Pennsylvania. You, of course, are known everywhere. You went and studied in Germany last year with a very noted artist, and you presented your work at a Roman ruin in Catalonia, Spain.
Yes.
So you have expanded your horizons.
Yes. Those are things that happen because I was in a hole in a gallery selling good, but I never go out. I just stay there because I don't even have time, because tourists are always there. So they are buying a lot. So I keep my time painting. It was good, but it was better until I go out with you to Barcelona, and then I start looking outside of the box, and at the same time that makes me think on do a better work, because I tell to myself I used to paint very, very ugly, thinking that because people say I'm good enough, but it's not. You have to go out and see other things, and then you see that yourself, and you talk to yourself that you're not so good because yourself. We need to learn more.
But one thing, David, I have appreciated too is I remember coming in, and you use so many different forms and venues. You said, I found this piece of wood, and you use wood. You repurpose things, which I think are amazing, including that beautiful picture with the cassettes. So how do you? That to me, that's the mind of a creative artist. Ezra Pound said that artists like you are the harbinger of the race. Where do you get those ideas?
That's another thing that happens because you talk with the people. I used to be at the gallery for 15 years, and people who talk to you, they teach you a lot. One of them told me one day that he just saw a painting, and he says, that has to be your painting. I said, how do you know it? Because the canvas is not commercial canvas. It looks like you do your own canvas all the time and blah, blah, blah. That gives me the idea to paint on everything. It makes me not better, but different. So that's how I start painting on different materials, and like thinking on recycle. So I see a burlap bag, and I say something's gonna happen here, so let's use it. I saw the cassettes, and I said let's paint some history of me on the cassette. So that's how I get the ideas. When you talk with the people, you learn a lot.
When we come down for the Rediscover Rosarito Film Festival, it's about the film, and your son Axel, of course, won an award when he was there, and he's now in school in Ensenada, and so proud of what his work has done, as well as your daughter who's graduating next week, yes. Right? And then you've got the princess who's of course going to be a celebrity in Hollywood, and then I think the woman who all makes it worthwhile, your wife. Yeah. What's it like with such creative talent in your family, seeing you as someone who is so respected and growing in terms of popularity worldwide?
Well, they don't even think about it. They just see me like everybody, like a simple guy, because they grew up with me, so they don't care. Yes. I see their reactions with friends around me, like, wow, the master. And I say, I wish my kids see me like this guy. But it doesn't happen because we are always together. So for them, I'm like everybody else. Yeah. But I think that when they get older, they will understand. They will see me different. Like, it's and at the end it's something different there. It's just like I have my own brothers, and they are nice and everything, but my nephews told me my father has money, but he never go out because his work, and you are working going out. So that's different. I wish my dad did do this, and I go with him to Europe. So they look me as a change to go out, but my kids they don't see it. They just you're going out again, yes. but they don't see a difference. They just see me like a work.
Well, what I would say is that your work certainly brings joys and happiness to people. When our students come down here, and of course, you know, Mark Brody and Carrie Thompson, Kathy Edelstein, and all the others, and of course, Shepard Vargo, who was a student who came to us by Lake Erie, now working for us at Emerson. The one thing they always talk about, we did the film festival. The most exciting time was when David cooked for us and took us over to his house. I mean, you opened up this entire house, which I'm at now. Yesterday, I was here with just incredible, you know, gastro diplomacy by your wife, who's just an incredible cook. What is it about David Silvah and your family that builds those bridges? And despite all these supposed differences between cultures, you really bring us down to the fact that we're all human beings and that we should care about each other.
Yeah, we normally use get the chance to make more friends. You know, when you come here and it's a chance to cook something, and she wants to cook, and she make it good. I think that she started like me. We just do, and everybody says that she's the one who cook nice, and that's it. And each time that we got more friends, she wants to cook more and more and more. During the pandemic, I started cooking, and that's when I know that she does a good work, because it's a hard work to cook, and she used to cook for 100 guys in the gallery, you know, and I don't even see that it was too hard. She likes to do it. Until now, I see that it's so hard because I started cooking on pandemic, and that's when I say, whoa, I don't even see that. I don't even see her like she makes me a big deal. Until you cook, you say, oh, she was too nice to me. It's like hard work. Cooking.
Well, I think what it comes down to is you, as well as your wife and your kids, it's hard work, but you make it look so easy. And I think what you continue to do is inspire people. David, you're a dear, dear friend. As they would say, amigos para siempre. I would like to thank you for sharing some of this. And for those of listening, you need to come down to Rosarito Beach. You need to look at those coyotes, look at his Mick Jaggers, look at all of these, look at these ladies that have inspired people around the world, the dancers. And when you say art and you say inspiration, but more or less when you say friendship, it's all about David Silvah. David, thanks for joining us on Payne on Payne.
Thanks to you, and thanks to Emerson College and all the team.
We look forward to seeing you in Emerson, in Boston, as soon as you can schedule it.
I hope to see you here on Rosarito Film Festival.
Gracias. Hasta luego.
Hasta luego.
This is Gregory Payne, Chair of Communications Studies at Emerson College, the first communication department in the United States. And I'm here in Rosarito Beach, Mexico, with Axel Silvah. And Axel is someone I've known for many, many years when he was growing up, and now he's in college. And right now, Axel, what is your major? You're down in Ensenada at one of the best schools.
Well, I'm studying in UABC. Nanotechnology.
I have a godson who's into something similar like that back east, so I hope the two of you can chat as I continue to try to figure out what that is.
Sure.
But as a professor, what I need to do is have you teach me that a little bit later. But today what I would like to talk about, as you know, one of our passions at Emerson is building bridges, and it's all about communication. Your father has been a very good friend, as your family has with my family for many, many years, and you've been a part of the Rediscover Rosarito program, which we started in 2011 and will be back again after the pandemic. And part of that program in building bridges is through the film festival. And you were a part of that film team a couple of years ago. Could you tell us a little bit about what that was about? Staying at the hotel, working with the gringos, as well as your fellow Mexicanos, and I think also some Asian students. And the fact also, we'll get to it, that you won an award for this.
Yeah, it was really fun. Especially because it was something really new to me. I never worked on a film. I didn't even imagine myself working on a film. So designing everything, like the story, then filming, then being an actor, it was really fun. And also getting to know everyone in the team, especially Jacob. I remember him so much because he was like a quiet guy, and then working with him, it was really different. So yeah, that was, I think, the most exciting part, and also learning a lot of stuff from editing videos and stuff like that. As I said, I never imagined myself working on that, and doing it for a week. I think like 1 week or 2 weeks.
Yes.
It was really fun.
I think what's exciting is we try to do this not for experienced filmmakers, even though in later years we've had them, but for people like yourself who are just learning how to tell stories. Emerson's been about storytelling since 1880. And I think especially now with so much printed in the news about differences between Mexico and the United States and the border crisis, how important is it from your perspective that we continue these types of public diplomacy efforts like Rediscover Rosarito and the film festival?
I think it is really important because, as I said, I had one image from one guy or another, and getting to know each other, it changed a lot the communication you have between one guy and another, or even cultures. So yeah, it's really important, and also it's a different way to get to know each other, I would say, because maybe I can't imagine another situation where I get to meet this guy Jacob, but this was one excellent way to get to know each other.
Well, we've been wanting you and your dad and your sisters and mother to come to Boston. Now, you came to Boston once before, did you not?
Yeah, a couple of years ago, I would say that.
You were there for the first snow. That was the first time you saw snow. Did you like it?
Yeah.
The good news about that is you got there, you saw the snow, and then you left to come back to this idyllic paradise. You left me in the snow and ice in Boston. What did you like most about Boston?
What I most like about pretty much any city is the buildings. Yeah, I was thinking of studying architecture.
Yes.
I would love to know about that, and getting to see every building, like Emerson buildings, and so, it was really fun. It was I was amazed. That's what I would say. How you call the big park?
Oh, the Boston Common. You like the Boston Common? Yes.
Everything is like so big and stuff like that. Just amazing. The Little Italy place.
Yes, Little Italy. Yes.
I went with, I can't remember his name, but I went with two guys. One was this girl.
Was this? Let's see. I'm trying to remember who that would have been with. Was it? I don't know. Maybe you went with Andrew Geiger, Andrew, as well as Remy from Malibu.
No. I can't remember the names, but they didn't even know me, and just getting to that place.
Yeah, sometimes when you're working in our department, sometimes we just say, okay, here's Axel. He's from Mexico. Take him around. And as you know, Emerson students are not bashful. But one thing that I was going to ask you, in addition to you working on the film, and of course your father being an incredible artist and your mother being an incredible cook, you also are a musician. Suddenly I see you playing, and we've asked you to play at various events. What do you like most about music, given the fact that you're in such nanotechnology and nanoscience area?
If I could, I'd probably just live from music, but I also like science and stuff like that. But something on music makes me feel more like I don't have to even stress about it. It just flows. And like, you seen this movie Soul from Disney?
Yes.
That's something like that. It really, when I saw that movie, I don't know, it felt that way. Like something that I can't explain that easily, but you can kind of like understand what I tried to say while watching that movie, because it does feel like that. It does feel like sometimes you want to say something to someone, something that it could be hard to explain, like emotions and stuff, and not even by singing, just by playing. On my case, is the guitar. What I most like, it just kind of flows. I don't know how to say it, but
so again, as I said with your father, there's a motto at Emerson which is expression necessary to evolution. So you're pushing the envelope, whether it's like with your father's art, but with your music. The one thing I would say, Axel, we hope in the next year, we've been keeping in touch, as you know, with the pandemic, and I love you with your vintage Emerson College Campaign 96 sweatshirt. We want to see you back in Boston, and then of course you know that people in Barcelona want to see you there. So are we going to work on that?
Sure. I really want to go.
Listen, we wish you the very, very best of luck with your teaching, and in terms of, because you indicated to me sometimes you teach the teacher who doesn't really know the materials. We wish you well back in Ensenada, and thank you very much for taking time as we visit Rosarito, and good and pleasant and safe journeys to Ensenada.
Well, thank you.
All the best. Take care.